So I'm sure you guys have heard the term, you are what you eat, and that saying is true, especially more so now than it has been ever, with most people, you know, being so busy with work and life in general that they feel like they don't have enough time to prepare healthy meals for themselves, and they're always eating out. They're always stopping at McDonald's or, you know, whatever's closest to them just to be able to eat at lunch, you know, for their lunch break. And that's the laziest approach, especially if, you know, you're wanting abs or you're wanting to lose weight. And just going out to eat is the easy way, and it's not the healthy way. And if anything, it's the average way. And most people don't want to look average, especially when they're pursuing their own fitness goals. And unfortunately, if you're doing what the average person does, which is not tracking calories, which is not tracking your macros, which is going out to eat, and you know, you might be eating very little and wondering, why the hell am I not losing weight? You know, why the hell do I still look the way I do? I feel like I should be making progress way faster than this. And the answer is simple. It's your nutrition. Your nutrition is way off. And now if you're bulking, it is a little bit harder to eat clean and eat healthy, because especially if you're a hard gainer like me, it takes a lot of calories. But as for right now, I've been on cut. We've lost 20 pounds in just under 2 months with a high protein diet, and, you know, trying to keep as much muscle as we can. And I feel great. And it's summertime. I'm about to have some corn. I got some steaks up there that are marinated. I'm about to throw them on the grill. And this is the stuff you look forward to as a bodybuilder or weightlifter or anybody that's interested in just overall health in general, is your food, your meals, right? And unfortunately nowadays, lots of the food that you eat, especially when you go eat fast food like McDonald's or Burger King or such, are filled with seed oils. And seed oils are inflammatory, which is gonna inflame your body internally and, you know, really puff you up, and it's gonna make you feel like shit. And that's one of the major sources of the calories coming in from the French fries and even your burger. It's all been cooked and it's all been coated in seed oils. And that doesn't include the amount of sugars that has been added and the other artificial chemicals that's been added to the food that your body winds up craving because you go to these places constantly. And, you know, if you stop going, let's say, to McDonald's one day and you're like, damn, you know, it's been 4 days since I went to McDonald's and I'm really craving those fries, you know, those salty fries that have a shit ton of oil in them, and your body just craves that food, and there's a reason for it, and it's because of the additives they've put in that food. They want to keep you coming back. And when you go out to eat, let's say you get a McDonald's cheeseburger and you know, a large order of fries, you know, one of those small cheeseburgers, whatever, and a large sweet tea, and you're like, man, I haven't really ate much today. But you go look at the nutrition facts of that, and it's already 1,000 calories. And if you look at 1,000 calories of rice, you would think you could never eat that ever in one sitting, and maybe even in a full day. So it's all about the types of food you're getting, the types of food you're eating, and that's going to determine whether you're going to make progress or not. And even if I was to go out and let's say, you know, this meal I'm about to have right here is 700 calories, and I go out and I get a 700 calorie meal at, you know, Burger King or something, it's still not going to be the same as if I'm eating clean, because these clean foods are going to be more nutrient rich than anything you're ever going to get at a fast food restaurant. But not only that, but some of these foods are anti-inflammatory, which is going to help decrease the inflammation from your workout, from everyday life, and it's not going to amplify it and make it worse. And obviously, I'm not saying I don't go out and eat, but there are healthier ways to go out and eat. You can go to your local Chinese restaurant. You can ask for teriyaki chicken or, you know, just plain grilled chicken and some white rice, white steamed rice. And that's going to be way healthier and way lower calories than if you were to get fried rice and, you know, the orange chicken they have. Or if, you know, you really want Chick-fil-A real bad and you just want some fries, really craving them. I mean, hell, I eat French fries. I love French fries. Do I do it every day? No, because I know it's too many calories for me. I know it's not healthy for me, and I know I feel like shit after eating it. Does it taste good? Yes. Does it feel good after I get done eating it? No. And for some of you guys that have been in fitness for a little bit, you know, as much as I know, that when you're eating cleaner and eating the right food and taking the time to prepare good meals, you ultimately feel better and you make progress way faster. But if you look at what accounts for the majority of the calories Americans consume especially, it comes from seed oils and added sugars. Those sodas you're drinking, even if you just have one soda throughout your day, that's actually those 50, 60, 70 grams of sugar in that drink is over what doctors recommend you have in one day. And that doesn't include if you got a Big Mac with that or something that has added sugar in it. And that doesn't include the extra carbohydrate, or even if you are having orange juice in the morning, or especially like Sunny D or something very processed like that, that has a ton of sugars in it. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people in America especially are not only obese, but they're becoming diabetic. Not only are younger people developing diabetes way earlier than what they should be, but colon cancer has also increased dramatically in the past couple decades alone, especially in the younger generation. And honestly, if you can account it for anything, it has to be for the food. And if you take a piece of white processed bread that we have on grocery shelves now, and you were to take that to the 1700s, they would not believe it was food. Our food on the shelves are so highly processed that our ancestors couldn't even recognize them. And honestly, I think that's why in the future I plan on growing my own food and have my own garden. But with college, I'm moving too much at the moment and I can't grow my own garden. But if you have the opportunity to do so, I highly recommend it. And one thing I do, especially during winter break, during deer season, is I go out on my land and I hunt and I harvest venison from the deer that are on my land. And that has been a great source of lean protein for me in years past, and nutrients, very nutrient rich meat. And unless you're getting this stuff from a neighbor or your local farmer's market, especially if you're in a more rural area like myself, most of the vegetables on grocery shelves even are sprayed and loaded down with pesticides, and they have been genetically modified to make sure the farmer has more crop and gets more value for every seed. And it has its benefits, but it also has its cons, because we as the consumers are consuming this. But outside of crops, even if you look at the farm animals and you see what they're eating, there's been tons of documentaries since 2010 until now. You see that some people have been actually feeding pigs plastics. I mean, they don't even go to the effort of taking the bread, the molded bread out of the bag, and they're feeding them garbage. Then they're harvesting the meat from the pigs, and you're cooking it up for your wife and your son, and you're feeding them poison. And it's very hard nowadays to even get your hands on anything that's not poison. I mean, there's plastics getting leached into every plastic water bottle, every plastic container, and everywhere you look, everything's plastic. Milk jugs, everything is in plastic. And I like going out to eat sometimes at Chipotle because it's healthier. But if you look at what the food's coming in and some of the stuff they're cooking in, it's plastic bags. And you're having the food in a plastic bag and heating that bag, and it's leaching microplastics into the food. So it's really hard to just escape microplastics. But by having those forever particles and forever chemicals in your body, it severely can decrease your testosterone and estrogen levels, and it can really just throw your hormones out of whack. And yet, knowing this, we still allow this, and we allow ourselves to be poisoned, and our government allows it to continue just because it's cheaper and people are able to turn a profit more. And the main excuse I hear is, well, I can't afford that. I can't afford to live healthy. I can't afford to get the organic eggs. I can't afford to go to the farmer's market and buy this. Well, one day, when you get older, if you don't do it now and you don't worry about your health now, whether it's diet, working out, just even doing cardio for cardiovascular health, if you don't worry about it now, you will in the future when you're going to the doctor visits and you're paying for medicine. And what you don't pay for now, you will in the future. But God willing, everybody lives long enough, to grow old. But one day you'll be paying for it with medical bills and, pharmaceuticals. The reason you want to eat healthy now and worry about your health now while you're young, and even if you're 50 years old watching this video, you don't have to wait till tomorrow to make the change. You can start right now. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner for you right now, if you have one more meal left, you better make it a good one. Go out to your local grocery store. It don't have to be a farmer's market. You can put forth a little bit of the effort in making food tonight. And if you got work in the morning, whether it's office job, construction job, go out, get food, bring it back, cook it, and you might have to meal prep a little bit. That's one of the reasons why bodybuilders meal prep. That way there's healthy food that they know is going to help put on more muscle, food they know is going to help them get closer to their goals faster. That's why they meal prep. If there was no point in meal prepping, bodybuilders wouldn't do it, right? So go cook, go save you a little bit for tomorrow, and enjoy your meal. Sometimes in life you have to eat for the results and not for taste. If I wanted to eat for taste, you'd see my ass at fucking Burger King all the damn time, or Sonic or somewhere else besides the grocery store and back home to grill. It takes time. And that's one thing that a lot of people are losing now and feel like they don't have enough of is time. But some things you have to make time for. And like I said from the beginning, if you're watching this and you're still making excuses for yourself, or you're, like, man, he doesn't understand, or I could never do that, then obviously you don't want it bad enough. You don't want abs bad enough. You don't want to lose weight bad enough. You don't want to get stronger bad enough. You don't want to feel better bad enough. Because the people out there that do, they're going to do this. And they're going to realize what they've been missing out on. And they're going to see and maybe realize that the nutrition aspect of their life may have been what's missing. Even if they're hitting the gym, you know, maybe you're already hitting the gym or doing cardio. Maybe all you're missing is a little bit of a push and a little bit of information on the nutritional aspect of it, because as the old adage goes, abs are made in the kitchen. And so what you eat matters. You know, if I eat like shit, I'm gonna feel like shit. If I eat clean and I eat good food, I'm gonna feel good, right? And if you're trying to lose weight, ultimately it's calories out has to be greater than calories in. And it's so much easier to do that when you're eating clean foods, because there's not a lot of calories in them. It's not completely saturated in unhealthy processed ingredients, and it's not saturated in seed oils. And even if you look at the people that live longer on Earth, they're close to the coast. They're living on the Mediterranean diet, which is a lot of lower fat foods, higher protein foods, and most of those foods are really low calorie. And if you don't even know where to start, if you're just coming into this or you just stumbled across this video, I highly recommend you eat like normal for 3 days and write down everything you eat and drink. Calories, write down the carbs, write down the protein, and I want you to write it down for 3 days, and then I want you to divide it by 3. And that way you'll see what the average is. And if you're trying to lose weight, I want you to cut down the calories by 200 to 500, and you'll start losing weight. And be sure you're keeping the protein pretty high. You don't want to be having, only 30 grams, 40 grams of protein a day. You need to be having at least 60 to 80, and honestly, I recommend, 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And that way, when you're on a caloric deficit and you're losing weight, your body won't want to drop off as much muscle. If your body doesn't have enough protein, it's easier for the body to drop off more muscle than it is for fat. For the body to keep muscle, it's very taxing. It takes a lot of energy for your body to keep muscle, as well as even want to put it on in the first place. I'm not saying all this shit to say that I do this every day, 100%. I do snack. I do have Ben & Jerry's every now and then. I do go out to eat at McDonald's every now and then on Blue Moon. Those foods are very delicious. They're delicious for a reason, though. But the fact is, you have to understand the reason they taste so good. And you got to understand when you go out and eat these foods that you're setting yourself back. You're setting yourself further away from the goalpost. But especially if you're eating this every single day, you just can't do it. You can't do it. Unless you're a genetic anomaly, and you might know a guy that can go out and, eat 4,000 calories at McDonald's and, have a big ice cream bowl at the end of the day, and he's losing weight and he almost looks anorexic. Well, that is a genetic anomaly. His metabolism must be super fast. Yours is not. Most people have a really slow metabolism, and that comes from a sedentary lifestyle, or they're working in the office all day, or just from health complications from eating unhealthy for the majority of their life. But I want you guys to enjoy life. I'm not saying all this to say that, even for myself, I had the Ben & Jerry's at night. I have a Snickers bar every now and then, and I think you guys should too. I think you guys should enjoy having these little treats every now and then, and, going out to McDonald's and stuff every now and then. But if you do this every day and wonder why you're looking average and why your results aren't coming quicker, then I suggest that you start doing something different. Stop following in what the average person does. You need to start doing what you know deep down should be done, which is eating cleaner, eating better foods, eating more organic, and not having those sweet treats every day. Because having those sweet treats every day, having the extra 200, 500 calories every day is going to add up over time. It only takes 3,500 calories to add a pound of body fat to you. So, you got to be careful with what you do and how much you do of it. Anyway, guys, I'm about to go up here and cook my steak and have some corn. Hope you guys have a good morning, a good night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.